Why are there not more people talking about the invisible drama that unfolds all around us? One that you might be starring in without ever auditioning for the part. Picture this: a blinding spotlight pins you to center stage. The audience is silent, the shadows deep, and you have no script, just the pressure to perform, while everyone else seems to know their lines. Around you, the cast moves with eerie precision, exchanging glances and whispers you can't quite catch. You're left guessing, always a beat behind, as if you've stumbled into a play that's been running long before you arrived. The set shifts when you're not looking. Props vanish, lines are altered, and the scenery morphs behind your back, leaving you off balance, questioning what's real and what's just part of the act. This is the theater of harassment, a psychological performance so subtle, so meticulously staged, that most never realize they're in the audience, or the lead role. Welcome to the show. The power of this psychological theater is in its subtlety. It's not about grand gestures or obvious threats, but about the quiet, almost invisible manipulations that slip under your radar. These are the moments that make you question your own memory, your own instincts, and even your own sanity. The script is a relentless series of small, ambiguous actions: moved keys, a shifted document, a strange look from a neighbor. Each act is so minor, so easily explained away, that you hesitate to even mention it. Each incident is trivial alone, but together, they form a pattern that whispers you're not in control. Over time, these moments accumulate, weaving a web of doubt and uncertainty that's hard to escape. This is death by 1,000 cuts. No single act is obvious, but the cumulative effect is devastating. The constant disruptions chip away at your peace of mind, leaving you exhausted and on edge. The abuser's goal is to bait you into reacting, then use your response as proof of your instability. They want you to appear unreasonable, so that others will doubt your version of events. These actions disrupt your routines and sense of predictability, keeping you in a constant state of hypervigilance. You start to second-guess every decision, every memory, wondering if you're the problem. The confusion is the weapon, not a side effect. It's designed to make you feel lost, to erode your trust in your own perceptions. When you try to explain, your story sounds unbelievable, so you withdraw, isolated and doubting yourself. The more you try to make sense of it, the more alone you feel. Friends and family may dismiss your concerns, deepening your self-doubt. Their disbelief can be more painful than the actions themselves, making you question your reality even further. The abuser's narrative becomes reality for those around you. They skillfully manipulate perceptions, turning your support system into skeptics. This isolation is the strategy, leaving you vulnerable and alone. When you're cut off from others, you're easier to control. The small actions add up, eroding your confidence and sense of safety. You begin to shrink into yourself, afraid to trust your own judgment. Recognizing the pattern is the first step to breaking free. When you see the web for what it is, you can start to reclaim your reality. You are not imagining things, your experiences are real, and you deserve to be heard and believed. At the center of this theater is often a narcissist, a master manipulator craving control and admiration. When threatened, they orchestrate psychological warfare to reassert dominance. They study your fears and routines, crafting personalized harassment to break you down. Narcissists rarely act alone. They recruit enablers, flying monkeys, to join the campaign. These enablers may be manipulated or malicious, spreading lies and isolating you from support. The narcissist projects their flaws onto you, preserving their self-image. You become the unstable one, while they play the rational victim. This twisted reality lets them evade accountability and continue their abuse. Understanding this dynamic is crucial to reclaiming your power. The weapons here are microaggressions, subtle slights, and ambiguous insults. A backhanded compliment or a denial of reality plants seeds of self-doubt. Gaslighting is common. You must be imagining things. Confusing conversations, or word salad, leave you mentally exhausted. Mimicry and tiny changes in your environment create a sense of unease. These actions are impossible to prove, but they chip away at your certainty. If you confront the abuser, they accuse you of being too sensitive or forgetful. Each subtle jab builds a wall of isolation and self-doubt. The goal is to separate you from your own sense of reality. Recognizing these tactics is the first step to breaking their hold. The ultimate aim is to build a false reality where the abuser controls the narrative. They isolate you, manipulate your environment, and feed you curated information. Your support system is turned against you, leaving you doubting your own mind. Every detail is staged to reinforce your supposed instability. This psychological prison attacks your ability to trust your senses. Escaping means dismantling the false world in your mind, not just leaving the abuser. Reclaiming your reality starts with trusting your own perceptions again. The architecture of their world crumbles when you see it for what it is. Control is achieved by making you doubt your own mind. The abuser invalidates your experiences, insisting you're just stressed or imagining things. The more you defend yourself, the more you fit their narrative of instability. They perform concern to others, isolating you further. The world sees them as the patient caretaker, you as the problem. When you lose trust in your senses, you become dependent on the abuser for reality. This is the ultimate control, defining your identity and truth. Breaking free means recognizing the illusion and trusting your perceptions. Your reality is valid. The illusion shatters when you reclaim your mind. Outsiders rarely see the abuse. It's invisible by design. The abuser is charming in public, building a reputation that makes your story seem unbelievable. Each act is coded, a dog whistle only you hear. When you speak up, you're met with disbelief. But they're so nice. The abuser's public persona invalidates your reality. Subtle tactics are dismissed as trivial or paranoid. Society expects visible wounds, not psychological ones. This invisibility deepens your isolation and self-doubt. Your suffering becomes a silent, solo performance. Recognizing this helps you seek support from those who understand. In extreme cases, harassment escalates to organized stalking, gang stalking. Groups coordinate to create an environment of constant surveillance and psychological manipulation. Tactics include street theater and synchronized harassment, amplifying paranoia. The abuse feels systemic, making it nearly impossible to prove. Community complicity leaves the victim feeling utterly isolated. The narcissist's power is magnified by turning others into weapons. Understanding this rare but real tactic can be a lifeline. You are not alone in your experience. The final act doesn't belong to the abuser, it belongs to you. This is your story, and you have the power to decide how it unfolds from here. No matter how long you've been caught in their web, you can choose to step out of the shadows and into your own light. Knowledge is your weapon. Naming the tactics weakens their power. When you understand the patterns of manipulation, you begin to see through the illusions and lies. Each insight you gain is a step toward freedom. Stop seeking validation from the abuser or their enablers. Their approval is not a measure of your worth. You don't need their permission to heal or move forward. Set boundaries, document incidents for your own clarity, and seek support from those who understand covert abuse. Boundaries are not just lines, they are acts of self-respect and protection. Your experiences are real, and you deserve to be heard. Find a therapist or support group familiar with psychological manipulation. Healing is not a journey you have to take alone. There are people who truly understand and want to help you reclaim your life. Reclaim your narrative by trusting your intuition and honoring your feelings. Your inner voice is wise. Listen to it and let it guide you toward what feels right and true. Celebrate moments of clarity. Each one rebuilds your confidence. Every realization, no matter how small, is a victory. Give yourself credit for every step you take. Walking off their stage may mean ending relationships or changing environments. It can be difficult, but choosing yourself is always worth it. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away. Choose your peace over their drama. Prioritize your well-being, and let go of the chaos they try to create. You deserve a life filled with calm and self-acceptance. The abuser may continue their performance, but you are no longer their audience. Their power fades when you stop reacting and start focusing on your own growth. You are the author of your own story now. Each day is a blank page, and you get to decide what comes next. By understanding, disengaging, and reclaiming your reality, you emerge stronger and wiser. The lessons you've learned will guide you toward a brighter, more authentic future. The curtain falls on their play. You are free to write a new script, one that centers your truth and your healing. A new one rises on your life. This is your beginning. Step forward with hope, courage, and the knowledge that you are in control now.